means truth. So tell me about your spiritual journey.
This is Lindsay Warwick, the Conduit, on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube with Tattva Tuesday. I'm so excited. I have my friend Lauren Covington on the podcast today. What's up, girl?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Hey, yeah. So, oh my gosh, I don't even know when I met Lauren a couple years ago, but I'm excited that you're finally on the podcast, going to talk about your spiritual journey, your truth, and we're just going to flow with it and see where it goes. We are in an eclipse window right now. So we have the lunar eclipse, the full moon in the south node, and approaching a solar eclipse with the new moon, the north node. So yeah, I don't know what's going to come up in this conversation, but I'm super excited to have you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. So I guess we'll just get started with your spiritual journey, whatever you would like to share about your path.
My path, I feel like my path, starting when I was a little girl, I just felt like, to help people. I love helping people. And as an adult, my sister did a reading. She's like, I think your journey is to continue helping people, meeting people. As I Uber, I give people readings and they're like, how did you know that? I'm like, take it as you want and you go. So, I'm just practicing on strangers that get in my car and they're like, wow, you nailed it. You nailed it. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's working. And I just help people. I just love to see people's genuine, happy face when you give them a good reading or a bad one, but it's just coming from the heart. So
yeah, and I guess like bad would be relative, right? Because if it's something that somebody needs to hear, although it is oftentimes not an easy message to deliver, it's something that they need to hear. But yeah, you'll like message me sometimes. I'm like, you're like, hey, yeah, how are you doing? Or what's going on? Or spirit gave me your name, or spirit told me this. And I'm like, damn, how do you know that? And I love that about our connection. And it's like time can pass between you and I, and it's like time also doesn't pass. Because when we talk again, it's like nothing ever changed.
Yeah. That's up life. Life just changes like it's supposed to, like changes.
Yeah. So I know that you are super intuitive, and I also know that you have become a birth doula, right?
Correct.
Let's talk. I know, I see it. I love it. I'm here for that. It's so awesome. Tell me about that. Like, how did that come into being?
The pandemic happened and my sister was like, oh, you need another job just in case you lose your job, because I didn't get vaccinated. I don't believe in that. But yeah, and I was like, okay. And I didn't think I would like it because I don't like blood, but it's been really cool meeting. Yeah, I thought I would pass out and nothing. I've been fine. Just I feel like I'm a spiritual guide for them. And I'm like, do you want incense? Do you want me to pray for you? Do you want this? And I'm like, now my new thing is like I manifest their births. I was like, do you want 4 hours or do you want 40 hours? So I say, talk it into existence and it happens. Like their birth will be 3 hours or 2 hours. I don't have to be waiting there for 24, 30 hours. And I'm like, yes. You know, I like, you have to believe your words and talk to your baby and, give it all that positive energy. So that's what I'm there for. And all good births that I had. I think I had like 22 births. So far, so good.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, oh my gosh, how many babies have you been present for? But you said 20.
Yeah, between 20 and 22. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So how long have you been doing that?
Like 3.5 years. Not too long. Yeah.
That's a long time, I think.
I know. I feel like 10 years is a long time where, yeah. I feel like I'm a newbie still, when I get the nurses think I'm a baby. They're like, who are you? Are you the the aunt, the sister. I'm like, no, I'm the doula, you know, because they think I'm so young. I'm like, I'm 40, I'm about to be 44. Like, leave me alone. I know my stuff. Like,
I,
leave me alone.
I love it. So how do people find you?
I work for an agency and we just go from there, and I need to like I don't promote myself on social media. My boyfriend yells at me about that, but I like word from mouth. I don't know, but I'll get there one day. But yeah.
I hear you. I like word of mouth too. It's just something I feel that is you can trust something about that, and I love that as well. And sometimes doing all the social media can be kind of daunting and whatnot, but it might definitely help your business for sure. But what's the training like for that?
The training's like a whole month, like on the weekends for like 8 hours each, and take tests and quiz and do presentation at the end, and you're golden. Get your certification, and you get to go in the hospitals and go from there. Or you could do it on your, do it by yourself, but I feel like that's a lot of work, and I don't want to do that yet. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so what exactly does the doula do then?
I'm a support system. Like if you need housing, I can tell them where to go, send them to the case manager. I help you breathe. I help you have a birthing plan. Um, I'm like I feel like a lawyer. You know what I mean? Like say if something, like I write down what happens in the births. Like, oh, the nurses ignored us, and I write it down. So they can get in trouble or whatnot. So yeah. And just, I don't tell them what to do, but I just tell them like a lot of doctors want people to have C-sections because they get more money. Like, no, you can die faster. I have to tell them the facts. So, but they, at the end of the day, doctors scare them, and sometimes they don't listen to me. The doctors get the win, but whatever. So
I don't really, honestly, I'm not a mother and I've never been through that birthing process. So I don't really know about like the ins and outs of that aspect of the medical
you
field
would
at
be good at
all.
it. I feel like what you do with the Reiki and like, what I mean? Like it will go hand in hand, and you like, cause you're in a spiritual realm, like, like my sister one day said, like, she felt the baby was about to leave and she's like, no, come on. She pulled it back in her spiritual realm and it came through and it lived. And you know what I mean? Like it's really pretty cool in that part. So
Is your sister a doula too?
yeah, she's been a doula for like 15 years. So
Wow, that's so awesome. I know people that are death doulas too, and it's like they're you are like the wayfarer for the souls coming in, and
mhm.
then the death doulas, I guess, are the way shower or something for the souls that are exiting Earth. So it's
Yep,
like it's definitely an interesting concept for sure, but I do love the advocacy part of it, like you
yep,
said,
that
like
part.
advocating for the client. And it's so interesting because I mean, I have shared on the podcast before that I'm in this interesting phase. I've been taking classes the last 2 years, just kind of finding my way as far as the medical field. And I thought I wanted to do occupational therapy assisting. And it's so funny because today, actually, I got a phone call from the program that I was applying to last year, and they were encouraging me to apply again. And I'm like, what does that mean? Because I'm in this Eclipse portal. And then I was looking at naturopathic doctorate programs as well. Like I know we were talking about like Arizona because I've never been out there, and
Correct.
that's one of the programs is there. So it's like, I like that you are kind of like working with the medical field, but you're like not
Correct.
like you're
Yeah.
advocating for people.
Yes. And you can also like say you could be a doula doing this. You could do it over Zoom, or you could do it over, Apple. Like you don't have to be there. You could still help push and you'll still get paid, and it's pretty cool.
But you like to be there.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I'm saying during COVID, it was another thing because you couldn't. So I had to like, okay, call the doctor, do this. Come on, let's breathe together. Like, yeah. Technology is pretty cool too. So yeah.
Yeah. So what's your favorite part of it?
I want to say postpartum because some people deliver and they get depressed. So I like to do activities and At the end, I think my last visit, I'd be like, okay, let's go get your feet done. Let's go get a massage. Like that's me paying back to them. Let's not, nobody tells me to do that. Like I like giving back. And yeah, that's a plus for me. But yeah, I just like people feeling good about yourself. Like let's learn how to lose the weight now. Let's learn how to eat. Let's do juicing. Let's, getting your health back together. So
And
yeah.
what would you say is like the most challenging part or the least favorite? The blood?
Um, Trying to get them to come to their visits, their appointments, like, like, oh, I don't feel good, like cancellations. And it's like, oh, we still got to meet each other. So,
Hmm.
so that's the least favorite. I have
Yeah.
to track them down, like, yeah, like they're kids, but some of them are kids.
Well, I think it's awesome that you've transitioned and you're doing that. You're doing Uber, and I don't even know what else you're doing. I feel like you're always doing the
I am
most.
a travel agent, Uber, work for law
Yeah, the
firms,
travel
and yeah.
agent. Yeah, so I actually traveled with you. Oh my gosh, I don't know what year that was. I'm horrible at dates. What is time? But a couple of years ago, Lauren planned a trip and we went to London, Amsterdam, and Paris, and it was awesome. It was like really incredible for me. It was my first time in Europe, and so now you're a travel agent?
Yeah, travel agent. I'm actually planning Costa Rica today, waiting for everybody to hit me back. But I just meet girls online and I do events every month with people and just build a relationship. And that's one of my favorite things to do. And, like it's hard when you're 40, 50, 30 to find friends because you fall out. And I'm trying to meet healed people and healed people heal people, hurt people hurt people. So I want to stay in a healed space and I love it.
I
Meeting
hear
people
you.
all around the world and United States, and we're all, just hanging out, having a good vibe, good energy, a great experience. So yes.
It's awesome. I like admire all the traveling that you do and just I admire you in the way that you just kind of live boldly. Like don't give a fuck. Like
Nope.
get some fucking sunglasses if I'm too bright for you. That's the vibe I've been feeling lately too, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah, just ended I don't ended something relationship and changed jobs recently and just a lot of change and also a lot of releasing of this idea of my life that I had before and embracing, like I used to be so sad that like I'm not a biological mother. Like I have dogs. I have fur babies. They're right here. They're passed out because we were outside in the sun. Ooh, the light just came on me. It's crazy.
It
Did
did.
you see that?
I did.
Yeah, so I used to be sad that I wasn't a biological mother or that I'm not married or anything like that. And all of a sudden, I've had this crazy like paradigm shift, this crazy perception shift of like, okay, I'm single and I don't have like little babies to look after. Like I can live my life for me. Like I can do what I want to do. Like, why am I being sad? And it's like all these other ideas came into my brain, like the places I want to travel and the things I want to do. And that question of like what really drives me and like what makes me happy, which is like helping people, like you said. I love to help people. I want to travel, help people make money and be happy and have
Yep.
have fun too. It's like I just don't want to be sad and hanging on to this idea that I thought I had of my life. And I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this, but I don't know if you ever wanted children or if you ever wanted marriage. I know you're Aquarius, right?
So I'm okay with not having it because of my age. The guy that I'm dating, he's okay with it too. He's adopted, so he's like, it's okay if we adopt too. I was like, okay. Um, but no, I was like you, the same, but I'm like, I'm good. Maybe this lifetime is all about me, and next lifetime I will have kids. And I'd be always like, I wonder what Lauren's doing on another realm. I always do that. I'm like, what realm is Lauren? Maybe she has kids right now, and then this Lauren just gets to learn a different. I don't know what I'm put on this life to do right now, but I'm learning. And, the other Lauren might have 3 kids and is learning something else. But this Lauren is a free spirit soul and just loves traveling and meeting new people, and maybe that's not written in the cards, and I'll be okay for that. So I have nieces and nephews, and great nieces and nephews, so I'm good.
And you were at a point before, I guess you mentioned that, you were like me, you thought about it. Was there a difficulty in coming to like acceptance with being okay with it either way?
I guess no. I just got at the age thing. I'm like, I didn't want to be an old parent. Like my mom had me when she was like 40, 41. So, and
Oh,
I'm like, and I'm like, and I told my boyfriend's 10 years younger. So I'm like, you sure you want to be with me? Because
hey.
age difference. But he's okay with it. And I'm like, at least we get money. And I just hung out with a bunch of girls the other week. We met online. We're like, oh, we all have no kids. And we all gave each other, like, oh, we're all free. Yeah, yeah. It's a different vibe when you got to worry about a baby and whatnot. And this world is crazy. So
It is such a crazy world, and I want to talk about this. I don't think I have not shared this on the podcast, but I think motherhood and all this, it's incredible and
it
amazing.
is.
However, why aren't women or men, I'm not going to exclude the men here, why aren't people celebrated for other things like traveling the world or escaping abusive
Yep.
relationships or pursuing education? And I sort of joked with my family, because, I'm not married and I don't have children and I don't have like what are those called? Registries when you're going to have a kid or you're going to get married. And so I was joking about like, oh, I want to make a registry for myself for like continuing my education or, getting out of bad relationships. And basically my family members were saying that that was ridiculous and that's not like how it works. And I'm like, but why? Like, why can't I be celebrated for like just this idea of success looking differently for everybody? You know
But
what
why
I
can't
mean?
you do that? I feel like you would become a millionaire if you did that, if you started a tribe. No, I'm serious. Like that sounds like an awesome idea and you should run with it. Maybe write a book about it and actually do it. So just think
I
about
mean,
that.
I'm starting here on the podcast talking about it. Like, where are my single people or my childless people that have accomplished greatness? Like, why aren't we being celebrated? Like, why
We have to
don't
do it
we have
ourselves.
registry? Look, there's the light again. Like, why don't we have registries or parties? Like, to me, that I don't know, this is gonna sound off the wall, but like not even, probably not to you, but
No.
or
Never.
any of the listeners, right? This is Tattva Tuesday. I'm just speaking my truth right now. And it's
Mhm.
to me, success is looks very different than societal success. Like
Correct.
if you overcome your demons or if you overcome addiction or if you pursue education or you leave abusive relationships and you stand up for yourself, like to me, you're a fucking winner.
You are.
Okay.
You're a warrior.
Yeah, a warrior winner.
Hmm.
But like that's not super celebrated in society.
No,
And
it's not.
I think it should be.
It should be. You should
I
start it.
I know, but I don't know what that even means. Like start what? Start this movement of being single and childless and owning your accomplishments, like whether society understands them or not.
Correct. Yeah. Make like shirts and
I love it.
start
You're
start a
like such an
festival like
entrepreneur. Who's the Capricorn here? Well, you are like a cusp, right?
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Correct.
I'm a Capricorn, but as you know, of course. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something that's been on my mind, and I was like, there's nobody perfect to talk about this like than Lauren on the podcast.
Aw.
It's society, like, I don't know, success. Like, how would you define success?
It's not like success is different to everybody, but that's a good question. How would I define it? Um, Waking up in every morning, being a good person, doing
Mm.
good. Success. I don't know. It's not about school to me or degrees, or it's just me accomplishing my goals. I do vision boards every year, and that's me accomplishing mostly everything on there. That's success for me. So yeah.
Yeah, it's not even about like school or titles. I guess it's really like about, you know,
Whatever I
the
feel at that point.
individual. Yeah, because
Mm,
because I'm not knocking motherhood, I'm not knocking
mm-mm.
marriage or any of that,
Nope.
because to me or to you, I'm sorry, or to somebody else, that could be great, great and successful.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's awesome. And
Yeah,
I'm here for it. I'm here for celebrating that. I'm just saying, why isn't the other stuff celebrated?
that part.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you became a birth doula. Like, where's your registry? Like, look what I did. You know what I'm saying? It's just like this idea of buying people presents for getting married and having a baby. But then, like, if you like I said, like if you're leaving toxicity in whatever way, shape, or form, it's why aren't we having parties over it?
Correct. We should definitely celebrate.
Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I just had to bring that up on the podcast because that's been like where my brain is at in this eclipse portal. It's yeah, asking the deep questions of what do I want? Like what do I want to see in my life? But anyways, we just went on a tangent a little bit, but I want to bring it back to you and talk about, some of your spiritual ideas and practices, like the things that you do maybe on the daily or monthly or whatever you do.
Just the basic stuff, fasting. This month, no alcohol, and like I do my juice fast. I want to get back into meditation, and yoga, slowly but surely. But like you said, I have 17 jobs, but like that. But that's just the basic stuff I do and practice. Drink a lot of water, and um, just practice what I preach too. Like try to be a good person, and I don't know, pay forward. Do something nice for somebody else. Don't expect anything else, and tell that person to do the same thing. So yeah.
When you do fasting, like how do you do your fasts? Is it like just
Just juices.
water?
Water, juice, teas. One day, well, you already know, a couple of years ago, I lost 40 pounds in 40 days. So,
Yeah.
I want to do 2 weeks. I didn't start it yet, but you got to prepare mentally doing that. Getting a colonics and stuff like that. I feel like that's more spiritual. Like, I know it's weird, but I feel like it's mental, spiritual, it's physical, mental, and spiritual, like all in one. So you just can't be 100% in one. It has to be 100% in all of it. So just trying to balance everything out and be grounded, like go out and write in your journal, burn stuff that you want to get rid of during the full moon, and, just little rituals like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I've done a juice fast before. It was intense.
It
It
is.
was super intense, but yeah, I love all those cleansing types of practices. It's so important to keep your energy and your space clear,
Correct.
right? So, um yeah, I love all those practices as well. Now, would you say that, is your concept of spirit, is it God? Like, what do you call it? Ooh, there's a light again. So weird that it only does that, I swear, when I'm on the podcast. It's like
um,
wild.
I just say the universe, you know, whatever. I was brought up in Christian, but I don't really follow that.
Hmm.
Just spiritual, I would label myself. People get mad, but oh well. I do me, you do you. So yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that's like the whole point of the podcast is I ask people their concepts of it, and it definitely varies. And I think that, there are many ways and paths, to that light, I guess, within us.
Correct. And I respect everybody's, point of view, but I do what works for me, you do what works for you. So
Yeah, for sure. So, do you think that there's anything else that you are feeling called to share today?
Not that I can think of, but maybe one day we should do a retreat together and go from there. Go to Bali or and then ask the people on the podcast what they
I
like
think
to
we
join.
totally should. That'd be freaking dope. I mean, you have the traveling expertise, and I could do the yoga and the Reiki, and
Correct. I
mean,
can do the vision board.
I'm down for that. I love it. We're on this podcast, or like throwing business ideas at me, and I feel like we need to keep that conversation going. But yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else that you're feeling called to sharing, I appreciate this conversation with you today, and it's always good to see you.
Good seeing you too.
People want to connect with you, like if they need a birth doula, like what's your contact information?
You could contact me on Facebook under Lauren Covington or Destiny for You on Instagram. I didn't make a page yet. I'm so lazy. I have to get to do that, but I'll figure it out. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And thank you to the listeners and the viewers for tuning in to Tattva Tuesday. Connect with Lauren if it resonates. If you want to come on the podcast and tell your story, have a conversation, talk about truth with me, then send me a message and I will see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.